Hey, I'm straight up off the block, hopped in the phone and pushed the top back. I've been hustling for a long time and I can't stop that. Big like I'm that, best believe it, and them all back. Yeah, I be ballin' all the time. I'm point guard and a quarterback.
Welcome to another one-on-one interview with Sports and Culture Sports Media. I am your host, Tyler Butler. Let's go ahead and pay the bills, shall we? Before I introduce my very special guest today, all of our Women in Sports interviews are brought to you by Rebecca Williams, your solar energy consultant. If you're looking for an alternative that are cheaper, that way cheaper than your light bill, give her a call at 864-607-9765 and make sure that you use the code Sports and Culture Sports Media to get the best price. Now, today, my very special guest here is, oh man, she wears so many hats, which we're definitely going to get into momentarily. She is one of the up and comers in the fitness world. Her name is Kedian West, and she owns a company called Superar Strike. Kedian, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. And I did get everything right. I didn't mispronounce anything, right?
You actually did. I was about to say that. I love it. You
Hey,
did.
research. I'm so proud of myself.
Guess what? You research and you use the information correctly.
Exactly. I saw somewhere you said that, you know, if people can't pronounce your name, they call you Keys. Is that right?
They call
Keds?
me Keds.
Keds.
Keds is easier for everyone because they say Kedian, they say Kenya. I don't know how Kenya come into it, but I answer.
Kenya.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's gonna be a never-ending conversation if I'm like, no, it's Ke, and then they're like, and they come back again, and I'm like, whatever, just.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be amazed how many people will butcher names. I have a pretty basic Tyler, like it's basic, and I get called Taylor and Todd. And did you say your name was Jawan over the phone? So it's weird.
It's crazy, but I laugh at it sometimes because I'm like, "Did you hear what they just called me?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
And I will not correct them. I find it so funny sometimes.
it's hilarious. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna call her by a nickname. Her name is Kedian. We're gonna call her Kedian.
There we
That's
go.
how we're gonna do it. So let's go ahead and just like any other interview, I like to start from the very beginning.
Mhm.
And I saw that you had a love for basketball growing up.
I still
Now,
have.
I'll say that's what I'm talking about. Now, before we
What?
get into the question, who's
I
your favorite
know.
basketball
I
player?
have to bring the Celtics, and the Celtics has always been my favorite.
Oh,
Well,
no,
alongside my favorite
Katie.
basketball player overall is Allen Iverson. A lot
I
of
can't hate on that.
I know new folks, up and comers don't know about Allen Iverson. That's as a teenager growing up, you will have like Backstreet Boys and all those posters on your wall. I had Allen Iverson doing the windmill dunk.
See,
That's what I had
wow.
in my room. Yeah, love it.
Learn something. You just moved up a couple of ticks in my book with
I don't
AI.
know if you not.
Yeah, that is an
Love it.
excellent answer.
Yeah.
Not to me, people. I don't know your age, and I definitely don't want to ask. But a lot of people around my age group, AI was huge. AI was the man growing up. Like he
Mhm.
changed the whole culture for the NBA. I love it. Not my favorite player, but I
Yeah.
definitely love him.
Allen
And
Iverson all the way.
yeah, who didn't want a pair of AIs growing up? I still want a pair.
Ooh, trust
But,
me.
all right, so okay, yeah, right, we getting somewhere. So was it kind of going into the question? Was it Allen Iverson that sparked your interest in basketball, or was it just playing basketball in the neighborhood? What drew you to the game of basketball?
So if I'm supposed to be like completely honest, this is how I got into playing basketball.
Oh
I
yeah, I know story time.
I was in school, and the teacher I had at the time, she was a family friend, which means that she lived like next door to me.
Hmm.
So anything that happened, best believe my name is gonna get called first because she knows my mom, she knows my dad, she knows everyone. She's a family friend, and somehow she ended up being my teacher. And I wanted to get out of the class so bad. They said, "Oh, we're seeking persons who signed up for the basketball." And I was like, "Me?" Like I was
Oh,
ready to get out of the class, and I got out of the class because of her. But then I didn't know that I would fall in love with basketball. Like my dad tried so many other things just to, because he swore that I was gonna start acting like masculine and I would lose my femininity and everything. And he put me in pageants, everything. It didn't work. And then when I was in high school, he's like, you know what? I'll anything you want. I'll just support you. Just tell me.
Now, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that. Usually everybody's like, oh, well, I saw Michael Jordan play
No, I
basketball.
wanted to get out of class.
Yeah, so your love for the game was escaping. Okay.
And then I got into something who, like, and that's how sometimes you find out your passion. You
Mhm.
might not know what it is, and your parents might try to like turn you a certain way or whatever. But then after you realize like that's not for me, that's not
Gotcha.
what I love. And that's what my dad realized growing up.
Yeah, no, that happens a lot with kids. I'm kind of doing it with my daughter, trying to figure out what she's good at. But to use her for example, when she was going to school, she decided to take up band. It was just an extra class she had to take. She didn't want it. Turned out that was a hidden talent. The
Yeah.
girl is terrific on drums, and we pray that's going to lead to a scholarship one day.
Mhm.
But she just accidentally stumbled upon it and grew a love for band, and now she's probably one of the best drummers in our school. So
Exactly.
just a perfect situation like that. Now, kind of piggybacking out of kind of growing up in Jamaica, and I know that you spent a lot of time in Toronto. A lot of people I talk to haven't even left their city.
I'm all over. All right. So and I always say this, I didn't grow up poor and I didn't grow up rich, but
Mhm.
especially like my mom, she would always say, oh, we're poor. And I used to always say, Mom, we're not poor. Because the main fact that I can like travel or do whatever, I don't consider that poor. But she always said, like, listen, I never had certain things growing up. And this is both of my parents. They try their best to give myself, my sister, my brother anything that we want. Like, if she's never experienced something, she wants us to experience it because she's like, this will kind of ground you in a way which will mold you. So when you're an adult, it will help you to be a better man or a woman in society. Like for my dad, both of my parents have opposite background, and I always talk about it. My mom is what you guys will consider in America like hood, and yeah, and then my dad is the opposite of that. He will say somebody that grew up in the suburb, like he's more experienced. He went to like what it would say like Ivy League school here. He went to
Mhm.
like George's back home, which is a highly ranked all boys school back home. So they had like, I don't know how they got into it, but I don't know. They had like separate two separate backgrounds. So they both of them coming together, it gave me and myself, my other siblings, um that versatility where we could experience certain things. So for me, wanting to play basketball, anything I ask my mom, she say yes. She doesn't say no. She's like, yeah, do it. I'll pay.
Wow.
My dad now, he's more like, okay, we're gonna do this, but I think you should go this way because this will, like help you more. And they would sometimes they will butt head, but they will always come to a conclusion to say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. So when I started playing basketball, whatever, they would send me to Toronto mostly, and I have family. Most of my family lives in Toronto and Jamaica, so she would send me there. So I'll go to like basketball clinics, I would go to tournaments and all these things, and they realized like that's an investment in me. And I loved it because even though my dad tried to like take me on the weekends to like pageants and all these different classes and all that, he realized that I love the sport. So he started, like whatever I need basketball, he's gonna get it. I need shorts, I need sneakers, whatever it is, he's gonna get it because he realized like that's what I love and that's something that can help me to go further in life.
Wow. Well, they say opposite attracts. So
It really
that,
does. Me, my part.
that is, yeah, that's pretty awesome. And so having from being in three completely different countries, what do you say is a significant difference you notice from living in Jamaica, from living in Toronto to living in the States?
The culture, even though even everywhere I go, you still have a lot of Jamaicans, but the culture itself is different. Like being here, how persons will perceive certain things and how they would look towards certain things is completely different from back home. Like for example, one day I was walking and we stopped at a restaurant and we were having drink, and this young lady was talking to her grandma because she said grandma, but she was yelling at her. And I turned around and I was like, never in a million years can I ever even raise my voice or to butt in a
Yeah.
conversation growing up. Because when my mom did this, I know, girl, you better sit down. So like a few things like that, it brought culture shock to me. And getting older too, back home, if you're going out to eat, you better have your own money because nobody's going to stand your bill. But being here in the States and in Toronto too, I see this happen a lot. And I got into the culture and the habit of doing it is where people literally like sneak their card to cover the tab.
Hmm.
Back home, no. Everyone, you either try to go to the bathroom or someone is on a phone call trying to like skip their bill, but no one is going to take up anyone's tab. Growing up, like that's something I noticed. So when I came here and I saw they would be like trying to sneak the credit card to say no, I want to pay for it. I was like, whoa, I like this.
Yeah, that's definitely a difference.
Yeah, I like
Not
this.
having to pay for anything. Yeah, that's something I'm gonna get used to
There's
also.
different, definitely like I pay attention to the small details because if you and I are friend or you're trying to cover my tab for me without me asking, I see something different in you. So some
Mhm.
person might see this interview and they're like, "Oh, that's nothing." It tells a lot about you as a human being.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that is a a distance from a lot of people is, and that's why I like talking to the different people with different nationalities because of the cultural difference. One thing can seem very normal in everyday life over here, but it can be completely different in another country. So I
It
always
is.
like to get that perspective because that's a good learning experience to know.
It is.
That's awesome though. Yeah, it's nothing like having free food though. By the way, that's
No,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
when you don't even
Take
know it's
advantage of
free.
that. Yeah, no, take full advantage of that. Now, like back to your dad and your parents. The pageant stuff. Now,
Yeah.
I gotta take my hats off because getting your daughter into pageants, I wouldn't even know where to start, how to look or anything pageant wise. That would definitely be something my wife would do.
Nah, that's my dad. That, as I said, my mom put
Yeah. Now,
who doesn't know I
I
go to
don't know.
school and get education.
Yeah, I don't know how much reality TV you watch, but
Mhm.
I see a lot of pageant shows where it make it look like nightmares with the kids and stuff. How was your experience in the pageant life, and would that be something you would consider going back and doing one day?
I would maybe in Jamaica. I think for here it because I've seen a few of those too, and it's not what I experienced. I loved it. I loved
Mhm.
it. The experience itself is that, as I said, like I wasn't rich nor was I poor, but these ladies that was in the pageant itself, they were more on the wealthier side.
Yeah.
So to have it, I think that was my first time having like sleepover, and like I went into one of the girls' house and I was like, oh, you have your own room too. So that for me, and I think that's why I'm so determined because I realized that there's more out there. So even when I'm in my own world at that time, and I think like, oh, like I'm living a good life and I'm living a fabulous life, and it's not to be greedy. But then I started understanding when my mom said we're poor, because even though I consider myself on the better half of life, there's more out there to experience. There's more out there that you can get. There's more out there to see. And I think that's what my dad wanted when he tried to get me in, to make it seem like, hey, you might be from here, but this doesn't determine who you are, or it's not your final destination. But there's more out there to see. There's more out there to be. We're going to learn how to eat with knife and forks. We're learning how to like skirt here, all of those like small things. and going to like the Governor General Awards and all of that. So that helped me to meet and to interact with a lot of different persons. And then now I know how I need to present myself when I go out. So honestly, back then I hated it. I didn't like it because I'm like, oh my God, these people are trying to tell me how to talk. They're trying to tell me how to walk. They're trying to tell me how to sit. But as an adult now, I'm glad my dad did that for me.
Yeah, I so kind of similar to that. I went to culinary art school,
Hmm.
and one of the classes that was mandatory was an etiquette class.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still kind of remember some of the stuff from that class, and it helps you
Yeah.
interaction with when like going out to a networking event. I remember everything that I learned from that class. So yeah, so it's funny how those experience
Small
that the small things would just stay in your mind but help you out in your
things.
adulthood. It's
Exactly.
absolutely amazing. Now let's talk about Superar Strike, which means to overcome. And I think that's absolutely amazing. Cool name. Great job coming up with that.
Thank you.
I am real huge on mental health because I do battle depression. I'm not afraid to admit that to anyone. But my company was
Mhm.
born off of depression.
Yeah.
I was able to find myself, and coming out of that slum and creating this company, which is kind of, I saw somewhere similar to how you started yours. Can you talk about your life changing moment and how going to the gym helped you find yourself to
Yeah.
create this amazing company?
Definitely. Just as you said, like you're not afraid to talk about it now. Before I was scared because growing up, when you say depression or you need to go see a therapist or something, everyone is like, "Are you mad? Is he going crazy?" Like we looked at it sideways. I don't know how they look at it now, but growing up, if you mention those words, they probably people think you're crazy.
Right.
So I was always scared to talk about it. And to be honest, I didn't even know I was experiencing it. I was just wondering, why am I feeling so lazy? Why am I feeling like this? Because I'm a chirpy and I'm a bubbly person. So, like why all of this? But going through what I went through during those time, it was insane. Like I couldn't think, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't eat. Like there's so many things that I couldn't make sense of. You could probably ask me what one plus one, and I couldn't even tell you it's two. And I was like trying to find myself. I was like trying to do something, but nothing made sense. Even like working, nothing made sense. And I find out when I was going to the gym, that was the only thing that made sense to me. That's the only place I found happiness. That's the only place my mind was at ease. Like I wasn't thinking about 25 different things. I wasn't having like suicidal thoughts. I didn't, like all of those things. And I realized, okay, so maybe this is it for me. So I started going to the gym sometime twice per day because that's the only time I can find peace in my life. So with that now, I started going to the gym more and more and more and more, literally 7 days a week, sometimes 14 times because I'm going twice. And even though at that time I didn't realize that, hey, you still need to rest your body, you still need rest at that point. So when I started that, and then I realized like a lot of persons started coming to me and asking me like questions about health and fitness, I was like, all right, maybe I need to learn more about it. Yes, I know how to do certain things with my body, but you have so many different body types out there, and persons are seeking answers and whatever. So if I can do it, then I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I'm an obsessive person. Like when it comes on to information, I want to know the information. I will go do my research. I don't care. So I started that, and then the business idea. I actually had a brand before, which I don't speak on anymore, but I'm going to mention it. I had a company that I started before, and then when everything went left, I was like, okay, maybe this is a sign to walk away and start something new. So I this is when I started with Supera. But the thing was like coming up with a name that represented me, that had something to do with what I went through. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to just say, because I could have said overcome and put it on a label. But
Right.
like what's the story behind overcome? It's just overcome. It's just blah. It's just plain. So my friend and I, we started like doing some research. We were at our job actually researching these names. I hope my boss doesn't see this, but we were at the job doing all of these research, and then we started going over names and whatever. And I went over and I was like, "Yep, this is it." Like this is the name. It has the right meaning, it has the right sound. Because when you say overcome, it doesn't sound like stressy, but when you say Superar, it sounds vibrant, but there's a story behind it. Everyone wants to know the meaning behind it, because when you hear Superar, they're like, okay, that's not a normal word, that's not used daily. Like, how did you come about that? That sparks conversation. With that conversation, it's going to help to build your brand. So for me, I was thinking all those things when I came up with a name and doing the transition, because I love looking my best, because I learned that from a younger age. The way how you speak, the way how you carry yourself, that's the way how persons will interact with you, and that's how you'll be treated. So putting both of those together, I wanted to start my own business, because I said this on other interview. I wish my parents had started a grocery store or something, some business where they could just hand it over to me, my brothers and my sisters, and we could just continue with it. But then I realized that, okay, you're the one that have to start this. But I didn't want to just like get something and slap the name on it. Like I had to do the research and find the fabric, the quality and everything, to see, okay, would this something that you will pay for? Is this something that you will wear? Like me, would you wear that? If you're not gonna wear it, why am I gonna sell it?
Mm.
Yes, it's, you might look at it to say in the beginning you lost a lot of money getting all of these sample material like shipped to you and getting all these different samples. No, that's the start of the investment for the business. So that's how I looked at it when I started Superior, and then getting everything in, and then finally having a store itself.
I'm telling that I love hearing stories from other business owners. Just love it, because you never know what is the story behind the name. How did you
Exactly.
come up with the concept? So that, and don't feel bad about
Hmm.
working at work, because I do it all the time. If my bosses are watching, I'm sorry, but
I know,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
because at one point I thought like having a 9 to 5. I was like, I don't want to have a 9 to 5. I want to be a boss. I want to do my own business. But okay, you want to do your own business. You want to be a boss. Where are you gonna get the funding from? And
Yeah,
that's,
got
I think that's a lot of question we don't ask ourselves, because we're on the job and we're like, oh, we're sick and tired of it. No, that job can literally take you from 10 to 20. It's just how
exactly.
you invest it. It's just how like what you're doing. Like, you have to be mindful that you're on the job, so you give your attention to that job, because you're going to get something from that job, or you're going to gain something from that job that's going to help you to create that wealth for yourself.
Perfect. That's how I look at mine. I'm like, even though this is not where I want to be, I would love to be working my company full time. I need this job to financially support my company.
There
So
we
right
go.
now I need to give it my all so I can receive the finances to support
Exactly.
myself,
Exactly.
until I'm able to, one day be like, deuces,
Yep.
I'm gone.
Exactly. You have to.
So
You have to start from somewhere.
yeah, and you're absolutely right. Everybody start a business and automatically think like they're gonna hit the ground running and it's gonna be successful overnight, and
Yeah.
put everything in the job you currently have.
Mm-hmm.
Use those finances to support yourself until you're
Exactly.
able to put in that 2 weeks notice and work for it. And it'll happen.
Yeah.
Have faith and grind.
Mm-hmm. It will.
I mean, look at you, storefront. Like, how amazing does that feel to have a storefront?
It feels good. The when I opened the first day, because I opened May 20th, and when I opened, my eyes were literally like, one was this way and the other was that way, because we left here like 4 in the morning. I was gonna open the following day. We were here tagging and everything. At one point, one of my friends said to me, he's like, do you plan on giving away everything free? Because everything you just print out said $0, 0 cents. So then we had to go through and recheck everything to ensure everything had the right and the correct pricing on them. So it took a lot out of me, and I worked late that day. I left work probably like 11, 12, came over, helped because I have two friends, and well, I have more friends, but those two friends were here. They came here to help me get everything set up, and they stayed till 4 a.m.
Hmm.
to help me
Wow.
get ready to open the store, and then they left and went to their job. So I commend them for that, and I love them even more for that.
Yeah, it's a friend for
Also,
life.
Yeah. And then my business partner, we were here. We stayed back a little later. He had to go to work. So I requested the day off so that I could be here to just like oversee everything because the employees were new, everyone is new, and it was new to us just the same. But it's a lot of work, but I feel grateful to be in this position and to actually own a store front on Martha's Vineyard. Like, you wouldn't know how big that is.
Mm.
First time I really honestly felt excited, my coworker's son came to or a job, and I was passing and he said, "Hey, hey." But I wasn't looking at him because there were so many people there. And he said, "Kedian." And I turned around. He's like, "I went to your store. It's so cool." My smile was the brightest because I was like, this is a 7-year-old. What do they know? They don't understand anything. And he's so excited to tell me that he went to my store. And I was like, okay, all right, now I feel it. Like, now I'm in that zone that it means that I have to push myself even more. Even if I don't make enough money this day, I can't give up. What am I going to throw in the towel after putting all of this work? I have to keep going because I don't make it today. I'm going to make it tomorrow. And I went to the bank, and the bank manager was checking on me today. And I said, honestly, the store is doing good so far, but I see this year as a lesson for me. I know exactly what I need to do for next year. This is a learning curve because for a business to be really successful or for you to see the profit from it, you have to wait sometime 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. Now, another thing I kind of wanted to talk into, we was talking about it kind of off the air, is the designs that you have on your website, and it gives me like a feel of not only can I go to the gym in these clothes, but I can go to the store, I can go to the mall in my workout gear, which
Yes.
I love that because I like to wear clothes that's just relaxing.
Yes.
But if I can wear something that's relaxing and leave my errands and go to the gym immediately, to me, that's perfect branding. Like, what went into that of trying to figure out how the your type of design you wanted to go to and who you wanted to reach?
Because everything I do, I put, and this is like things that my mom put in my head from a younger age. She's like, if you don't want something for yourself, why would you want it for others? So for
Mm.
me, I want to go to the gym, but I know as soon as I leave the gym, I know I have to go to the grocery store. I know I either have to go to the bank or whatever. I don't have time to go home and change and do all of that. But if I'm in that outfit where I can knock everything out, then I would be able to move, to be on the go, because that one time you stop, you just throw yourself off. Like, you forget what you're doing because you have to go home. You might sit there, watch TV or something. But when you're in that comfy fit and you're ready to go, you will just go. So that's one of the concept that I thought about when I was putting everything together. I was like, okay, if it can be from the gym to the street, then I think that's a dope concept for everyone, because
Yeah.
everyone wants to feel good in their clothes. And when you're in the gym, I don't know for anyone else, but when I'm in the gym and I leave the gym, woo, I can do anything. I can take on the world. Worse, if I'm feeling good, I know I'm looking good in my wear. So that's what I want for myself, and that's what I want to put out there, because that's consistency for me. That's how I build my consistency.
Yeah, and I think about it, if you look good, you're gonna perform better.
There we go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
definitely.
mental thing.
You
Just
gotta
like Deion Sanders used to always say, look good, play good, feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with clothes, man. You look good, it's everything around you, you're gonna perform better, which could be a way better day at the gym.
Listen, if you walk into the gym and you're looking good, you have like the perfect set on or the nice t-shirt and it's so buttery soft on your skin, best believe when you go into that gym, you're gonna knock it out because you're feeling good already. So you're just gonna like get more into your workouts. You're just gonna get more into your routines.
So, what would you say is probably your best seller right now?
I just got these Ventec short sleeve shirt. Oh my god, I have like two of them left in store.
Wow.
Two of them. I just reached out to my manufacturer before I got on to say that, hey, we're going to need some more of these coming in soon, because the material itself, it has more of a skim feel,
Mhm.
but it's breathable. So it doesn't like suck you, but the material is so buttery soft in your skin.
And are most of your like clothing moisture wicking?
Yes.
Awesome. See, so it
Yeah.
looks perfection and it actually performs to perfection as well. It's genius. Like you cannot go wrong with that.
You go ahead.
And for those who watching, go ahead and plug your website right quick because I need them to go purchase some shirts.
The website is www.superastrike.com.
All right. Now, being a woman of color
Mhm.
and also an immigrant, like what are some of the obstacles you had to overcome in the business world or are still at this moment overcoming?
I think sometimes people don't take you serious. Like you have some that will take you serious, and then some will look at you like, oh no, like you're not ready for this. Like, what do you know about a business? Or you're a woman, like can you roll with a big dogs? Can you like go at it hard? Like they think that okay, you're an immigrant, you might not want to do this. You just want to like do your 9 to 5 job and just call it a day because moving to America or coming to America, that's goal for you. That's it right there. No, it's not. They say that America is a land of opportunity. I'm gonna take advantage of everything. Like I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna get what I need to get and do what I need to do. I've already lost myself once. I'm not gonna go in that position again. I'm not gonna go in that route again.
Absolutely. Um, as a fitness trainer,
Hmm.
I see a lot of the waist trainer thing. And I know you guys sell waist trainers.
Yes,
I see a lot of ladies with the waist trainers. I hear good things. I hear
that
bad
thing.
things. Yeah, of probably who don't. You have people that don't really know how to use them. What are some of the positives though with waist trainers, and that how do you go about recommending those for the consumer?
For waist trainer, honestly, for a person who maybe like are lifting, because the ones that I carry, they have support in them. So say if you need like something like a back brace to help your back or your waist because it keeps you firm, then I'll recommend it. But I'm not gonna be the one to be like, I'm not sure if you ever see those one that wrap you like a bandage, those
Yeah,
ones. Nah, I would not recommend it. You're squeezing the life out of you. It's not gonna do anything. It's
mm,
not. You just need it as a support to guide you in the gym. And you might sweat. So like for my waist trainer, when I wear it, I put my friends sell these gels. So I'll put the plastic around and then I'll put it on. So it helps me to like sweat more in the gym. But to say that the waist trainer is gonna give you an hourglass shape, anything you wear shapes your body, so it will, but it's not a major thing to say you're going to lose all the fat or whatever. You do that by eating, right? And you do that by training.
see, ladies, there you go. Don't be out there breaking your ribs and trying to look like China doll.
Yeah, don't do that to
You
yourself.
still have to work out and you still have to eat correctly. And I think that part is skipped a lot. And
It
I'm
is.
glad yeah,
It
I'm
is.
glad you
Honestly, it is.
mentioned the nutrition part.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing a lot of these diets like keto and what's the other? Everybody's becoming vegan right now. Like with your clients, do you have a lot of clients that you recommend dieting those type of diets? And what do you think is probably I would say the most productive one at this moment?
Honestly, I don't recommend any diets to my clients. I say eat clean, and I will give you a guide and a proportion of how you should eat, because it all boils down to preference. Like if you're going to go keto, it's something that you should research. It's something that you should know about because it has its pros and it has its cons, just like anything else. And sometimes I think when they think about keto, they starve themselves. Like when person hear about
Yeah.
diet, they think that you should not eat. You should eat. You just limit the proportion that you eat. That's the most important thing. For vegan, I would go more for a vegan diet because, for example, and I was telling someone this a few days ago that I feel like when I consume so much meat that it weighs on me. Like I feel sluggish. I don't want to do this. I don't have the energy. But the more greens that I consume, like I don't like eating salad. And I'm gonna be honest. Like if you're always like, oh, you're in the gym, get a salad. And I was like, who you talking to? Get a salad? I'm not gonna get no salad. A salad cannot do anything to you, but I will blend my greens in the morning and drink that. Having just a
Ah,
salad alone, that's nothing. You want protein, carbs, you want everything. You want all your nutrients and in your mineral when you consume. Like when you're eating right throughout the day, you need that. You don't need to say, "Oh, I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm gonna just eat a salad." Honey, yeah, you're gonna have a salad, but you need some chicken on that. You need some steak on that. You probably need some salmon on that. You need something with it. You don't stick to it. It's too busy for you in the morning to make a nice breakfast. Okay, make some smoothie. You're trying to lose weight. Make a nice smoothie. Get all your fruits and everything in there. Your protein shake just to fill you up more. Like you need all of that. It's vegan too. It's something that you should research. I overheard a conversation the other day and I honestly wanted to laugh. Someone said they're vegan, but what they were ordering was not vegan. And I was so close to butt it and be like, that's
oh,
not.
you should have said something.
But I'm like trying to mind my business at the same time to not get into an argument with anyone because I'm like, oh my God. You see something on Instagram, you don't do your research, but you want to jump on it. And the
Yeah,
worst thing is when you're in public and you're speaking loudly, oh, I'm on a keto diet, but give me this, give me that. It's just keto is consuming less carbs. It doesn't mean
yeah.
it's itself.
I knew someone who was on a keto diet, and he had a cookout at his house. I was so confused. I'm like, this is not making. You got ribs and hamburgers, and I see mashed potatoes over here. Where's the keto? So yeah, I don't know how. I don't know anybody personally that lasted on a keto diet.
No, I don't know anyone to be honest. I know a few people who started it, but a few weeks
Yeah,
because I don't
yeah.
think they're doing it right. And it's hard, especially like if you've always eaten meat and you're trying to transition into a vegan. You can't just boom one day, I don't eat meat. I don't want any chicken. You get B12, for example, from chicken,
Hmm.
which means that you have to get supplements if you're gonna stop eating that. You can't just boom, today I'm this, boom, tomorrow I'm that. No. Your body goes through different phases and changes and stages. So you have to prepare yourself for that. Like you
Eh,
have to gradually consume less. Gradually, you have sometimes for 2 weeks, I don't eat any meat. Am I vegan? No, I'm not. But I know how I feel. And especially, I don't know if any woman on here listening can relate to me. But when it's my time of the month, if I consume too much meat, I'm in pain. And I tested that twice. I'm in a lot of pain. The amount of pain that I'm in is just like unbearable. So when I know it's gonna be like around my time, I'm changing up my diet. I'm changing up the how I consume and what I consume. And then ever since I realized I'm more relaxed, I'm at ease. And if I'm in the gym, I don't have a heavy floor or anything of that sort.
now I know I'm a man, but I do have a house full of women on Facebook. I've
I
never heard of that.
anyone, but honestly, like I tried it myself and I saw the result. Now you can't quote me to say it's medically tested or FDA approved or anything. I'm just saying I did that for myself and it worked. So I don't know if anyone have ever tried it and it worked with them, but if you're having that, try it and see if it worked. I cannot say if it was going to work on you, but try it and see because I do believe what you consume, it affects your body a lot. Like if I eat too many steak, I can't sleep because it doesn't digest well.
Hmm. Mm. Now I'm thinking about, God, I'm thinking about a completely different lifestyle right now after this conversation. Yeah.
Listen, at my job, at my job, every morning I go and they say, "You are on one, right?" Because they think I smoke or something. And I'm like, no, they're like, "Why are you so happy?" I'm like, why do people question when you're happy? Like you should be happy. I eat good. I take care of myself. I wake up and I go to the gym sometime 5 or 6 times for the week. I'm full of energy. I'm ready to take on the day. I
Now,
cannot sleep past 8. If you catch me in my bed at 8, I'm sick.
wow. Yeah, I'm not falling asleep until midnight. Unfortunately, it's because of my company, yeah, I'm always posting something, and
Yeah.
sports never stops.
Mm-mm.
So it's like I can't sleep. Like if I'm sleep, I'm gonna miss something. And if I miss something, best believe somebody gonna text me or call me and tell me I missed it.
You need your rest too.
I know.
So that's where if you need assistant or something, that's a good investment because you need your rest. I used to treat myself like that. Like this is how I move. I'm on the go 24/7. I'm on the go. I'm on the go until I crash. And that was when I was going through everything at that time. And then I realized, and my therapist, even the other day, she said, she's like, I know your job is a lot and know you have the store and everything. What are you doing for yourself to ensure that you're good? Like I realize like sometimes I have to take a step back and I have to think about my well-being because look at it like this. Yes, you might miss something because you're thinking that you can keep up. The day that you pass out, the day that you end up in the hospital, what happened?
Yeah.
You
Everything
know?
stops.
Yeah. And then and a lot of person always say, if you kill yourself on the job, they're just gonna find something. At the end of the day, it's business. So that's why you need to take care of yourself. You
And
have
that's kind of like, well, that was one of my questions that I have. Like with being on the go so much as a business owner, and I can relate just because of what we have to do every day. What are like some things you do to get away from that, to take your mind away, just to take a break?
I love going to the beach. I can't swim, but I'm at the beach. I love reading, so I would just drive. I'll go to a beach, I'll go to a spot, I'll lay there, I'll listen an audiobook or read a book. And I was like, probably like 2 months now, I've been taking myself out to eat. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to like have a nice meal. I can't really like drink much, but I'll have half a glass of the wine that I just bought myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so lightheaded. I'll just half of the wine that I just had. Like taking alone time for yourself mentally, it's good for you. You don't
Hmm.
have to constantly be on the go. You don't constantly have to be in a conversation. Yes, you'll meet someone at the bar or someone will have a conversation with you, but that's you. You taking care of yourself. Like I'm constantly around person, like I'm always around someone. So when I get those alone time, it's like I just hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
So
Now,
those are things that I do for myself. And then of course with therapy, it helps me.
hmm, and therapy is it's probably something I need to look into, and I always recommend it for people because
Yeah.
I a couple of years ago I had a couple of therapy sessions, and I do feel like they help. But
Hmm.
I just feel like something of that magnitude shouldn't be put off. Like it should be a continuation.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something I highly recommend for people, and I know it's something I need to pick back up personally. And I apologize for the time, but it's just been such a great conversation. So like, I'm gonna end it here. Kind of like a legacy question. So 30 years from now, everything is doing great. Superior is just booming, but you're on the edge of maybe stepping down or passing your legacy to one day your children
Hmm.
or nieces or nephews. Like, where do you want to see your company, and like what type of legacy are you looking to leave with your company?
I'm looking to build a community where I can not only sell clothes, but I can help with therapy session, whether it be um, physical therapy, like with your body or whatever, PT, or you talking to a therapist to help you. You have your gym. Um, you have your nutrition bar or restaurant because I really want to go into the restaurant industry. I love it. That's something that I want to create, not just here on the vineyard, but I want it to be in several different states. So when you hear the word Sapera, you'll hear the word overcome. It's a place that you want to be. It's something like you have Nike, people talking about Nike, you have people talking about Lulu. I want people to talk about Sapera. Like that's a legacy that I'm trying to build. If I don't, well, I'm gonna have kids at some point, but if I don't have kids to pass it on to, I have my nephew who I speak with constantly, and I'm trying to teach him and guide him because he looks up to me so much to let him know that this one day can be yours. So this is how I want it to be. And this is the legacy that I want you to carry on, to only make it greater than what it was yesterday.
Absolutely. Well, Kedian, thank you so much for your time today. I
Yeah.
appreciate the conversation. We learned a lot, definitely a lot. Again, guys, make sure that you take time out to, if you're looking to lower your power bill, make sure you get with Rebecca Williams. She is definitely one of the best solar energy consultants here in the upstate of South Carolina. You can give her a call today at 864-607-9765. And to get the best deal, make sure you mention sports and culture. Again, this is Tyler Butler, Kedian West with Superar Strike. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.